Good evening, fellow YouTubers. How are you this evening? My name is Dave. I'm with Funky Sloth Comic and Collectibles. This is my first video on YouTube, and I'd like to explain what my channel is going to be about. This channel will focus on comics, collectibles, movie talk, and everything that falls within those categories. I'm going to try to do a video every other week. Each video is going to be approximately 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to have 2 or 3 subjects on each video, and those subjects will last 5, 6, 7 minutes each. They're going to range. I'll probably have comics, of course, show off some collectible toys that I've come across in yard sales and flea markets, which is my big thing, is yard sales, flea markets, and such. I love flea markets. And I think flea markets are undervalued when it comes to actual collecting comics and collectibles. A little history about me. I started collecting comics when I was about 8, 9 years old. So I had a bunch, and then when I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old, this is a story you hear a lot. My mother, after I left boot camp, needed the bedroom, and she got rid of most of my comics and toys. When I say most, I mean the vast majority. But some of the comics that I actually still have, which I'll show you in later videos over here, actually my original comics from like the late 70s and early 80s. I just started getting into collecting again about 6 years ago. And that was on, my wife kept pushing me to get into it. And actually I went to a comic book store one day. I saw a book that I wanted. I bought it and have been collecting since. I collect mostly old runs. I like late Bronze Age, early Bronze Age, the 80s. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do like the 90s. I do have books, of course, from the 70s and 60s. I have no Golden Age, which eventually I'd like to get some when you can find good prices on them. I've been watching different YouTubers in the community and seeing what I like about their channels. So I'm going to try to incorporate what I like about their channels into my channel. I'm hoping to, like I said, I'm hoping to do a video every other week and to discuss 2 or 3 subjects on each video. I would really like to thank my wife, who kept telling me to get into this. I've been saying I'm going to get into doing videos on YouTube now for, I don't know, 2 years. And she has been pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. I have some fellow friends on my Facebook page, which is Funky Sloth, who have told me to do it. It told me what to do and not just ramble, because I have a bad habit of just rambling. So until I get comfortable doing these videos, I might ramble. Sorry. My son also is pushed me into getting to comics, back into the comics and the collecting field. He collects comics, but he collects mostly, let's see, the late 2000s and 2010s-ish runs. You know, like the New 52, which I actually think the New 52 runs are pretty good. He collects like the Green Hornet runs, that sort of stuff. He's also into a lot of the independent runs, which I have actually started getting into reading more of too. A lot of Image, Dark Horse, Zenoscope, which some of the best art in the community is from Zenoscope. I'd like to actually take this opportunity to thank, I guess I want to say, some of the fellow YouTubers that I follow a lot. Like Comics with Bueller. We Love Comics. Metarog, Arkham Comics, Alex the Comic Quarter, Geekery with Dante D. I really like his channel. Laura Legends, and the Bell Life. Even though it has nothing to do with comics and collectibles, I love their channel, the Bell Life. Check them out. Actually, check everybody else I just said on that. They're all very good. There's so many more. So many more. I can't even begin to say how many different YouTubers I watch. They're all good. They all have their different takes. I am not a speculator on comics. I collect comics to keep. Um, I don't think I've sold. Boy, I don't think I've sold any comics. Yeah, I don't think I've sold any comics. I've given comics to my son, but I don't think I've ever sold a comic. Yeah, when we were kids, we used to trade comics, baseball cards for comics. Collecting that way. But I don't think I've ever sold a comic book, and I don't plan on it. I don't have the biggest comic book collection. I probably have, I don't know, just trying to take a quick look. I don't know, 5,000 comics, which isn't huge in this community. But I'm just trying to finish some runs, and you're going to find when I start showing off comics, I like some of the lesser known characters. I'm a huge Hawkman fan, a big Moon Knight fan ever since I was a kid. I do not own Werewolf by Night 32, and I cannot understand why that comic book is so expensive. But I love Moon Knight. I'm a huge Shazam person, Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel. But Shazam has been one of my favorite characters since the 70s with the Saturday morning show that was on. I love Shazam. I'm also a big Spider-Man, of course, Superman, Batman. And you're going to notice that a lot of my comics, as I show them off as we go on videos, you're going to notice a lot of secondary characters, lesser knowns, but those are the ones I fell into. Of course, everybody likes the Batmans and all that, but I fell into the lesser characters. I've been a Punisher fan since Punisher was introduced. I do not have the first appearance of Punisher. Too expensive, and I'm not willing to pay the prices for some of these comic books that are out there right now. It's just, in my opinion, ridiculous prices that are out there on comics. I collect, like I'm going to show you later on in other videos, I do collect some Funko Pops. I collect Star Wars. Uh, Transformers, and I read a lot of books. I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan, so you're going to notice that in some of the videos. I'm a huge Elvis Presley fan, so I collect certain things from Elvis, but not a lot of Elvis. I don't own a lot of Elvis stuff. No, I've had probably 4 or 5 really nice pieces of Elvis stuff, and I'm big into models from the late 70s, early 80s, in the 80s range. I try to get them, of course, sealed, unopened. But that's me. That is what Funky Sloth Comics and Collectibles are going to be about. Again, like I said, comics, collectibles. We're going to do movie talk on here. A matter of fact, one of my first things when I get done explaining what I am here, I am actually going to give my first review. And why don't we get right into that? My first review is I just saw it on HBO Max, and everybody knows what it probably is. It's Wonder Woman 84. Now, I really, really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. I gave that a score of, I gave it a score of about 8.75, right in that area, out of a 10 scale for me. I have to say I'm disappointed in Wonder Woman 84. My problems with the movie outweigh the good stuff. And that makes me disappointed because I was hoping that DC could keep it going because everybody knows DC has the best track record. I'm in probably the majority of people don't like Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is a phenomenal movie. So my problems with Wonder Woman 84. Oh, the story. The story was confusing at the start. Too many things going on in that first act. And if you didn't catch some of the stuff come the second and third act, you're kind of like, why? Why? I'm not going to give spoilers, but why is this person here? And the movie was too long. 2.5 hours was too long. I'm sorry, too long, and it dragged. It really did drag. And in the end, the story wasn't rewarding. I really liked Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She really is good at it. And this second movie, Wonder Woman 84, she actually is really good. She, to me, is, I mean, she's Wonder Woman. But without giving away a spoiler, she comes into a new power, which, where did that come from? And when you watch the movie, you're going to know which power I'm talking about. And I don't understand it. Kristen Wiig's character, Cheetah or Barbara Minerva, I wish they would have concentrated more on her because her storyline, again, didn't pay out in the end. It was just like she was put there so Wonder Woman could have a fight at the end. Because the main antagonist in the film, which was Pedro Pascal's character Max Lord, which we'll get into, she couldn't. I mean, there'd be no competition. He's human, no superpowers whatsoever. But for being Cheetah, was a very weak storyline on her, and I was hoping for so much more. Now let's get into some pros. Oh, one thing. There's a few YouTubers out there comparing Pedro Pascal to President Trump. I don't want to drag politics into my channel. People believe what they want to believe. I can't even go there. But there was nothing about Pedro Pascal, in my opinion, in his character Max Lord that was anything to do with President Trump. I think that's just people trying to pull politics into. They pull it into everything nowadays. So, anyways, the pros. Pedro Pascal's character Max Lord, very good. Showed really good development of his character, why he is the way he is, and he shows it from when he was a kid, what made him go the way he did in life. Chris Pine, Steve Trevor, he's excellent. He was phenomenal in the first movie. He was really good in this second movie. I just don't understand why he was there. I get it, but he didn't need to be there. Again, my main complaint about this movie is there's literally 4 stories going on in that movie, and they're introducing 4 stories in the first act, and it's just too much. But then again, Chris Pine was excellent. He's actually a very good actor, and some of the best parts of the Star Trek movies, like I'm Not, was Chris Pine as Captain Kirk. Gal Gadot, again, delivers as Wonder Woman. She is phenomenal as Wonder Woman. We're coming up on the 15-minute mark, and I'm going to try to keep these videos under 15, but this one may be a little longer. The end credit scene was nice. Not needed. Just fan service, I think. CGI, for the most part, was very good. The ending fight, you can tell why they did it in a dark scene. In the first movie, second and third act were, I'm sorry, first and second act in the first movie were the best. Third act wasn't that great. This movie, I would put the second and third act the better. The first act, the least favorite part of the movie. So, a final score for Wonder Woman 84. Stuffy, get a 7.5. It's not a horrible movie, but a 7.5. So, this is my first movie, again, explaining the first video explaining what comics and collecting are going to be for when it comes to the Funky Sloth. What I'm going to try to do. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you hopefully, being this is on a Sunday, I'm going to try to do another video at the end of this coming weekend. Again, it's nice to actually finally be on here. Everybody take care of yourselves. Remember, collect what you want and collect what makes you happy. Alrighty, you have a good night. See you next time.